Alright, well, I'm back for what I hope will be like, either the second final episode or the final episode of this playthrough. Now, I know I had a false start just prior to, starting this recording. I basically went a few turns and, watched, Spain declare war and, Parthia take Campus Marte. And then they got stuck over here, because that's what they do. Basically, it's stuck right there. Parthia's basically busy, chasing down the Greeks over here, because, that's where they're basically sending all their armies right now. Britain, of course, is basically being Britain, Greeks are being Greeks, and of course, Macedon, Pontus, and Egypt are basically, sort of tagging around here. But the main, show of the road was basically, Parthia being attacked. Let's see what happens right now. Alright, excellent. So, it still happened. Spain attacked Parthia. That will hopefully draw these two into, a major conflict. Though, I'm a little bit worried that it'll get sort of, stuck here because this, river right here, it basically is, the death trap for, these armies, marching around. There's only one point where you basically get into from this area. And a lot of these, AI armies basically sort of get, caught, basically, just trying, traverse around here. The Brits might declare war in a moment. Parthia might still go after Greeks, but we'll see how it goes in a moment, so let's wait and see what happens. Just figured it's important to sort of point out. Because Spain and Macedon just allied to each other, they won't be attacking each other, so you won't basically see, Spain basically implode of, between, the Macedon pressure basically inside of it. Or, Macedon being, swept under the rug. Though, it might be interesting if, they did, sort of go to war with each other, because, Macedon's got a very, thin line, basically, to defend up here, right? So, Spain could sort of, attack from all directions for the most part. Because, how to basically sort of, wrap around them. Only took a few turns for this to happen. Now we'll see if Spain's going to get stuck, or if they're going to be able to move some, troops basically over here. The Parthians, of course, are trying to make their way back, of course, at this point, to, probably do something about, the incursion from the Spanish. But they are attacking, the Greeks basically over here in Sirta, so that's happening. What the? Where'd the Carthage army go? Did Carthage move their army somewhere, or what happened to it? I have no idea. I'm not sure when this happened, but Macedon took Helikinesis over here. If they take Rhodes, that'll basically wipe up Pontus, or, something over here. So they might be making forays into Anatolia from, the sea. Good for them. And yeah, I'm not really sure what happened to the Carthage army base over here. Was it wiped out? It's very odd, to say the least. I mean, it's probably good for Carthage because it means, they'll have, more money basically to start, making here, maybe. Okay, well, I'm not sure when that happened, but okay. The Julii basically sent their army basically up to Retrum to try and retake it. There's a big Spanish, cohesion over here to sort of deal with that, though, so not sure it's going to happen, but okay. And then we got the Greek cities going after Spain. We got Macedon and Parthia declaring themselves allies, so Macedon's allied both Parthia and to the, Spaniards. I wonder where, the Greeks are going after, Spain over here, if at all. I don't see any forces, basically, is the thing, right? Perhaps this is under attack now, so the Greeks may not be long for Africa. Wonder we'll see Rhodes basically fall at some point. Well, it looks like Julii decided to take a retrum. We'll see if Spain basically responds to this with their troops here, or just sort of lets them be. And yeah, I don't see any Greeks basically over in these lands over here, so I wonder where Spain, or like, you know, and the Greeks could have clashed. If they did at all. How long will it be before Parthia takes these settlements over here, too? Oh, I note that the Parthians are sort of sending an army basically up here to sort of deal with the Spanish, but I mean... It's just like, you know, they have the armies, it's just they can't figure out how to basically get them, like, you know, sort of coming up here. You know, I completely forgot that they can also walk across over here. Because there's like a little passage right there to sort of get through, like, you know, this landmass. But I mean, I'm not really sure why they sort of, like, you know, want all the way up here to basically get to, like, you know, Campus Marty like Parthians did, but whatever. That's the path they've chosen to take. I'll note that over here, of course, Spain is going after Retrium, trying to take it back. I was actually kind of wondering if, like, you know, there's going to be some troops basically landing on either of these isles at some point by Spanish, but I've yet to basically see any of these boats basically sort of, like, you know, take troops like that just yet. Carthage is now under siege, and these guys are sort of mixing up with Cirta, so there's that. These are nice cities, but only if they hold them, the Greeks. So, I just noticed this, but Macedon is sieging out Rhodes. Will they be able to wipe out the, you know, Pontus forces? And it's like Salamis basically going to be next on the target. I don't usually see a whole lot of, like, you know, ship jumping from, like, you know, stuff basically to Salamis over here, so... Not sure what's going to happen, but, you know, we'll see Rhodes perhaps, like, go first. Well, I just wanted to note that the Julii basically lost their, like, you know, faction heir just recently. Or, I guess they lost their faction leader, and this guy became the faction leader. They had to, like, you know, their general basically outside the city, and the the Spanish right here. They basically decided, like, let's leave Retrium alone and hit the, like, the, you know, the leader first. And it doesn't look like they have any other, like, you know, generals around, so if they basically get, like, you know, killed here, I think that's gonna be it for them, finally. Not sure what's up with these guys over here, but they're getting older, the Carthaginians, I guess. I was wondering if the same thing's gonna happen over here in, like, you know, Rhodes. But this isn't the general here, so unless they actually take out the city, it doesn't really matter. The faction leader still lives. He's gonna live for a little bit. By the way, I'll note that they cleared a path basically through here. The Pontus basically like sent their, like, you know, fleet of, like, you know, one ship, came up, smacked my pirate ship and got rid of it. There's this bigger fleet right here, but I mean, they seem to be able to, like, get by a little bit easier, I guess. So there's that. Oh yeah, Parthia took back Campus Marty over here, so maybe the Spanish will at least respond to that at some point. Or maybe let's, like, deal with, you know, the Julii here first. Alright, here we go. This might be the final Roman faction to fall. It's just a question now of, essentially, like, you know, these guys sort of wiping them out. Or not. And there we go. I guess I wasn't their, like, you know, final, like, you know, faction member, but... Oh, there's a faction leader right there, I guess. Well, they're basically down to, like, you know, one city again. Just a question where, like, you know, the Spanish, like, you know, maybe drop some troops basically off to take Caralis at some point. Same with Palma. The Greeks just sort of, like, you know, keep hanging on because I guess, like, you know, Parthia isn't really committing over here as much as they should be, but whatever. Alright, yet again, the Greeks are trying to make a landing in here in Italy. It's like, we don't care about Parthia. Let's go after the Spanish over here. You know, I find it odd how, like, the AI sometimes just leaves, like, you know, other, like, factions, like, armies just running around like this. Like, they had, like, the general basically over here and decided to attack it first, and then, like, you know, they hit the summit after. They just left this guy to sort of standing there doing nothing. I kind of wonder if, like, you're going to pick up this guy or drop some more guys off. Well, that's annoying. The Spanish lost Tingi over here, so it rebelled. Which means I now have to deal with all the merchants basically running around. Which is going to be so much damn fun. Maybe Parthia will basically, like, you know, take advantage of that and, like, hit down here. Oh, look at that! Macedon's got, like, you know, Rhodes under siege again. So I got, like, you know, what's in here? Phalanx pikemen, archers, light cavalry, and peasants. How am I able to see these guys, by the way? My merchant, maybe? Not sure why, but whatever. He's got quite a bit of forces based around to sort of, like, you know, stop the, you know, Macedons, but he might drag some more guys basically over to sort of, like, you know, continue to siege with. We'll see. There we go. Macedon did it. They finished off Pontus. There's the ruins of the Pontus army right there. And of course now I got, like, you know, these guys basically up here as well. I thought these guys were, like, you know, faction leader and faction heir, stuff like that, but whatever. No one's got, like, you know, disinherited trait on him, I guess, so, oh well. Now the question is, what's going to happen if, like, you know, Egypt basically at this point? Are they going to start causing trouble for the Macedons, or are they, like, you know, Macedonian armies basically going to, like, you know, maybe, like, take the chess base over to them? Or perhaps they'll basically start front up here in Parthia. That could be everything too. And of course start war again. Eventually what's probably going to happen is these guys are going to run out of, like, troops, by the way, because they do have a general basically here, but I mean, they don't have, like, a ton of generals. And eventually, like, you know, if they lose all their generals, that'll be it for them. And they're also using only hostility, by the way, because, like, you know, they're still pre-Marian reforms, because, you know, they never actually conquered, or had, like, a city basically over here for Romans. That was basically a huge city. That had, like, the Imperial Palace. Except for, like, Rome. They're still stuck with pre-Marian, like, units. Fun. All quiet on this front for the most part. I wonder what Parthia plans to do. I don't see any more Julii army over here. I don't see any Julii army over here. There's no, like, you know, generals around over here. Where's their, like, you know, last family member? He's obviously hiding somewhere, but I mean... Odd. Maybe ran into some forest over here? Alright, there we go. I just found their faction leader. He must have been hidden in a forest somewhere over here. Well, we'll see how long he basically lasts before he bites the bullet, but whatever. Alright, well, we have our Greek foray into, like, Italy over here. I was kind of wondering if they're going to basically ceasefire, like, you know, the Spanish piece again, but I guess they didn't this time around. I'm also wondering why this guy's just sort of sitting on his boat. But, whatever. You can do him, I guess, for the most part. The Greeks are being left alone by the Parthians. I'm not really sure what's up with Parthia, by the way, because they're sort of, like, you know, not really doing much of anything. Maybe they're thinking about Salamis and, like, you know, transferring, like, you know, troops over to take it, but who knows. Once again, the faction leader for Julii has landed near Eretrium. And maybe the Spanish might kill him, and then that might be it for Julii faction, because there's no one here, but it's again possible that they might have, like, you know, a family member that's hiding out somewhere that, like, I missed. The Spanish are back up here at Compass Mate trying to take it again. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. It really feels like this is a question of, like, you know, should his call it here for his campaign. But at least try and see if, like, you know, did you, like, get wiped up first, so there's that. I may, like, try, like, you know, loading and, like, you know, reloading, like, the game to sort of, like, see if, like, you know, we can basically, like, you know, get some action basically happen that way. Well, this is odd. Britain did something. They actually took Samabriva back and Traore over there. I wonder if I'll trigger like a Macedon response to him, or if like Spain will basically like rally to basically take care of him right now. Julii is still sitting here, by the way, just doing nothing, so whatever. As are like the guys over here. And over here. Although there's a little bit of action happening over here, where like the Parthians are attacking like Tunis over here, and the Spanish are attacking like Carmarthense, but whether anything will amount to like these like settlements being like taken or not, I'm not really sure. We'll have to see. Okay, well, they swapped land. Parthia now owns Tunis over here. Spain owns Campus Samarte over there. Will they do anything like, you know, with this like new territory? Now the thing is like, you know, will they like reinforce this territory is the thing, right? If the Parthians get over here, they might actually start like, you know, saying truce basically toward like, you know, the, you know, European plains. But if they don't, then like, you know, Spain will just come right back and take this, perhaps at some point. Britons are sort of running around like here like mad. Is Spain going to do anything about it, though? Or this guy? That might trigger a response. Maybe. So yes, House of Julii and Spain go on the war again. And look at that, Britannia went to war with Macedon, so... That's definitely going to trigger a response from Macedon, I think. If like they have their sons basically under attack. I figure I note that there's basically a general basically staying over here. I don't know if like this guy could randomly become like, you know, a family member, but yep, they got ourselves another general basically over here, so it's possible he might take over if like, you know, this guy dies somehow. Spain is not having a good day. Or as Parthia basically lost like, you know, Tingi over here, but yep, there's basically just like issues for these big factions at this point. Basically like, you know, Parthia lost Tingi over here, though like, you know, that's a bunch of peasants, so who really cares? I'll note that basically up here, Spain like had like, you know, a diplomat definitely buy out Alessia right there, so that's basically now like British for now. Be fine if this guy like marched his way all the way over here, but he's got some Parthian arms to go through, and they seem to be like, you know, somewhat making their way over here finally, so maybe they might be able to do something. This city really gets taken back and forth, doesn't it? You know, it's entirely possible at some point that Macedon might walk down here and just take Retrum from, like, you know, the Julii. It's not like, you know, the Spanish actually have to take it, right? So there's that. This fell by the way to Britain, so maybe like Macedon will come up here and do something about it. Maybe. And it does look like this guy is sort of going over here, so we have at least some action basically happening like this, like, you know, northern front. Alright, there we go. Now Spain's having a bad day. They lost Scalabus over here because, like, you know, Populous Revolt because, like, you know, so far away from their capital probably. Knowing them, they probably have their capital basically over here somewhere, like, you know, in like the middle of like Italy. Yeah, right there. That's basically like, you know, probably decent for them because like it's sort of like, you know, centered in their empire. But it's still pretty far away from like, you know, the edges of the map, so it's still gonna cause some issues. By the way, this guy's seeming to move away from the Parthians, so they might still come take like Campus Smerte, and then we'll have like, you know, a bit more of a Parthian front over here. And maybe some more Parthian forces like, you know, spill in, and we'll have like, you know, the Parthians actually start beating up on the Spanish. Wouldn't it be nice if we had like, you know, a Parthian victory? I really hope that's the last family member so we can see the Julii get wiped out, but, you know, we're sort of waiting for it to sort of like, you know, kick off this like, you know, battle. Well, say hello to a new faction leader. I mean, they did take back a rush room, but, yep, this guy turned into the faction leader, so the Julii aren't dead yet, unfortunately. The Spanish really need to send like a boat over here to sort of crush these guys, but you know, naval warfare is just something that like the AI isn't really good at, unfortunately. I'll note that the Macedon are starting to come back up here now, so we might see them basically take all these settlements basically from the British and get a little bit more stronger. And there's a lot of Parthian armies just sort of like, you know, inching their way basically up in this direction, so there's that too. I don't know why they like, you know, don't use this road here, but they just like to cross over here. But whatever works, at least they're getting over here somewhat. This would be a good place for like to have like a lot more naval warfare happen, where like, you know, they basically jump over here to Ternosis or like, you know, hit these things over here. This is sort of get the AI basically, you know, past this like, you know, sort of like, you know, deadlock here. But whatever. It's just the poor AI programming for like, you know, getting by here, unfortunately. I find it odd that Spain and Macedon broke their alliance, so it's entirely possible that we might see like, you know, Spain and Macedon basically go to war with each other. If that happens, then it's possible that, like, you know, we might actually start having a winner, because I think with the combined total of like, you know, Macedon and like, you know, Spain, they probably would have enough territory to get over 50, so, you know, they could actually win. But yeah, Parthia and Spain, they sort of like just like, you know, backed off from each other, don't really care anymore. Maybe Parthia might go after Spain again. I know that like, you know, the Greeks are over here in Tingi now, trying to take it. They shouldn't have too much trouble actually doing it, because, you know, it's just, you know, Numidians. A whole lot of Numidians. Huh, they got some Spartans here. Well, that was short-lived. Yep, Spain's really not having a good day. I'll note that the Greeks took Tingi, by the way. And over here, basically, like, you know, this, you know, settlement revolted as well. And now, like, Greeks are going after it, so that's a thing. Now, the question is, like, you know, will the Greeks actually take this? And will they hold on to it? Because, like, you know, it's very possible a Macedon army or, you know, a Spanish one could basically come over here and try and take it back. I wonder, like, Macedon and, like, you know, the Brits are still at war. I'm not actually sure anymore. Yeah, it says they're still enemies, so are we gonna send these like, you know, massive like, you know, throngs of armies over here to sort of deal with them? I guess they aren't going to do it now. It's just one settlement after the other for Spain. And this is like the issue that the Barbarians basically have, by the way. Late in the game, like, you know, just basically into like the 200 turns, they start to have all their settlements start to revolt to like very big like this, because they're so far away from their capital that they just can't maintain these settlements. That might draw the Parthians basically over here, by the way, because they are technically like, you know, connected by a land border here, I think. Possibly might do that. Now, I'll note that over here, I was looking at the Julii, like, you know, armies. And they do have another, like, you know, attempt basically coming over here at Eretrium. I don't see another family member, so if this guy dies, that might be it for them finally. We will have to see for sure, but, you know, just keep that in mind, like, you know, that could be it. This could be, like, the last one before, like, there is, like, you know, kaput. Alright, well, once again, Croton has fallen to someone. I'm not sure Macedon's just going to let the Greeks, like, keep that, but, you know, whatever. They, the Greeks took it. Also know about the Julii here. They got their army here, but you know, of course, why not? Another general basically popped in. I'm not sure if this guy, like, is this, like, you know, a guy being born, is he's basically, like, a garrison commander, but whatever. He's basically now, like, you know, another, like, you know, potential leader to pop up when this guy basically eventually dies. He actually never got off the boat, by the way, so not sure where he's gonna go. It looks like the Spanish are maybe sending some army spaces down here to try and, like, you know, suppress these revolts. Well, I got, like, a lot of, like, you know, roll boats busy up here. And yeah, the Brits basically sort of just hang out over here now. Just being left alone. One moment. Okay, where were we? So, there's a plague in Italy. This is always happening around this time, I guess. Not really sure how badly it's going to affect like the Spanish forces over here, but well, they're taking more and more hits basically, like, you know, as they go along this game. And it's not going to be very good for them if they basically, like, you know, keep taking these hits, because that's going to weaken their ability to sort of hold their territory. But whatever. The Julii landed. Perhaps they'll go after the Greeks down here. It'd be very odd to see, like, you know, the Julii down here, but, you know, whatever works, basically. Would you look at that? The Greeks decided to pay Julii a visit over here. I mean, I was expecting the Julii to attack them, not the other way around. But this could actually mean the end of the Julii, finally. And then we'll have a little more Romans to basically worry about. By the way, I looked at over here and the Menshek basically got, like, you know, captured. And exterminated the summons, so, like, you know, probably the population has been, like, reduced to, like, more manageable amounts for them. The Brits were coming down to sort of take the summit, but I mean, obviously the Spanish got there first. They'll probably move over to take, like, you know, Scalabus when they get the chance to, and then, you know, secure, like, their territory again. More of these guys are at war with each other, because that was Spanish a little bit ago. I don't see the Brits attacking him, though. I'm not sure how Parthia is going to do here, but they're attacking this summit here, in, like, the Bosphorus. They didn't quite, like, you know, take it, but I mean, if they actually take the Bosphorus there, they'll have, like, a second summit over there in, like, you know, the European plain. And perhaps they'll, like, you know, get their troops basically more, like, you know, infused about, like, you know, coming to, like, you know, attack Europe and such. There goes, like, you know, Spain is attacking Scalabus. Alright, well, here we go again. Macedon's going after the British over here. Maybe we'll actually commit to, like, you know, fighting them now. We'll see. Well, I guess with, like, you know, Macedon pushing the Triarii, the Spanish didn't want to be left out of the fun, so they declared war on the, you know, the Brits somewhere. I'm not really sure what they basically did, though. Maybe they attacked one of their armies somewhere. But now they're at war again. Now, something I'm actually wondering about is, like, what's going to happen over here? We got ourselves one more turn, and we'll see if, like, you know, the Julii are wiped out, I guess, or not, but, what will the Greeks basically do now? I've sort of, like, counted them out, but they're, like, you know, sort of back in the game for a moment, so hooray for the Greeks. Well, I guess they failed. Parthia and Britain now, like, you know, allied to each other, I guess. And apparently this guy's revolted up here, so yay! Amazons again! Parthia hasn't come back to Chernosis just yet to try and, like, take it. Though the Greeks do have an army over here to possibly go after, like, you know, Julii with, but, you know, will they, is the question. I guess we get to see a little bit more. Macedon has split the Spanish lands into two. I mean, the Brits already basically did that with, like, you know, a combination of Macedon forces, but Now they completely divide the Spanish realms from like, south and north. They might push in to basically take out the rest of the British over here, but I call this a win basically on their part. The Greeks have troops over here, by the way, but they don't seem to be using them to sort of like, attack the Julii anymore, which is kind of annoying. Maybe they plan to get more troops, and then we'll, like, see them actually do something. Well, that's annoying. They bring all these armies over here, and then they don't actually use them. Well, at some point these guys might go to war again, but for now, I guess we'll just leave it be. And by the way, Narwhal is basically revolted in the Spanish now, so that sucks for them. Might attract the British attention over here, or like the Spanish one. Alright, let's see if we can pull it off this time. We got our army and one right there as well. Maybe the Julii will bite the bullet finally. Now, I'm not really sure what's happening up here, but basically, like, the Brits took back Samobrevia, and all these Macedonian armies basically just sort of marching away somewhere. Maybe they're coming over here to where, like, Tylus is trying to like, get over to Genosis, but I mean, they don't have any ships up there, so I'm not sure what they're up to. And yeah, the Parthians aren't really coming over here, so it's like, whatever. They're sort of stuck as well. Remember Mascara? Well, here's a huge, like, Spanish army basically coming for it. And it's got quite a bit of, like, Scutari basically in it, as well as, like, a couple bull warriors. So he took that from, me. So hooray for that. I'll note, by the way, there's all these Spanish armies basically over here. And, like, right here. It's not like they could go, they, like, aren't able to go anywhere. It's just, like, they just have issues basically going anywhere. And the Macedon arms just keep on marching. To who knows where. Alright, well, I'll wait 6 more turns to see if, like, this basically falls or not. He's got basically 2 big armies to sort of take it with. Hopefully July basically fall in an episode right there, so let's wait and see. Well, here we go. Macedon is under attack by Parthia. That might trigger a response of some sort between them. So, they've only got like one, like, focal point right here, so not really sure how well that basically go for them, the Macedonians. But we'll see. Wait a few more turns for this, I guess. I've never actually seen this trait before. Irredeemably foul-mouthed. Basically gives you a massive bonus to your, like, populated troops, as well as the people, but really hurts your populated Senate. It's basically from one of these, like, Pontus, like, generals that are basically over here. Anyhow, let's continue on. I guess Spain had another populist revolt happen on them, so now Greeks is going after, Capua up here. It looks like Rome's having issues as well, but they got an army in here, so that won't be like, casting out the army basically anytime soon. It's kind of interesting that, like, the barbarians basically have these revolt problems. It sort of like, puts like, a timer on like how far they can basically expand before like stuff basically happens to them. So we'll see basically how this goes for them. Waiting on this, by the way. Also up here, basically like, Troy wasn't attacked by the British, but the Macedons basically rallied to sort of like stop them from like, attacking it. Not seeing anything happen over here just yet, but whatever. Ready. Where's Parthia's boats? Where's the Macedon boats? I mean, you need to have boats in order to, like, cross this channel here, so... Where are all the boats for, like, Macedon? Oh, they have a few right there. They're really far away from, like, this, like, area right here for some reason. But whatever. I just noticed this, but, there's a lot of Spanish here in Africa for some reason. I kind of wonder if, like, the Spanish are going to try and, like, actually attack something over here at some point. Which actually could trigger them to, like, start attacking, like, the Parthians if, like, they get enough, like, force and momentum. But, whatever. One more turn. Well, it looks like the Greeks are going to try and take Capua right now. Now here's the question. Did they take out the Julii, city on Caralis? Or Sardinia? And the question is, answered. Yes, they did. The final Roman faction has fallen. Alright, well. And actually, I never remember right here, apparently, as well. Alright, well, this will be, like, the end of, like, this episode, I guess. I think Macedon is sort of, like, going after, like, the Brits now, but... with a load and reload, they'll probably, like, do a little bit more better. Spain seems to have stabilized a little bit, like, there's still, like, this, like, little issue over here, but they don't really have access to it. Parthia doesn't really do anything about it either. Maybe if we reload, we'll see them do something next time, but for now, that's it for this one.